Meeting will come to order. Today is March 6, 2017. Roll call, Brian Carlisle, Stanley Smith, and Cindy Grant. First, we'll take care of the warrants. Move to approve the following warrants. AP 38 in the amount of $1,709.36. PY number 39 in the amount of $4,737.49. AP number 40, $2,600.
Alarm?
AP number 40, $2,646.53. AP number 41, $7,662.66. AP 42, $2,328.75. PY number 43, $3,559.98. AP 44, $1,075.16. AP 45, $1,964.68. AP number 46, $142,792.19. Is there a second?
Second.
Questions?
Second.
Any questions on it?
No.
Okay. All in favor? 2-0. Next is the approval of some minutes. We finally get some going forward on some written minutes. We have minutes for February 21st, 2017 and January 9th, 2017. Move to accept the minutes as written.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? 2-0. Do you want to move the schedule around to help these folks so they don't have to sit through?
I don't know. Let's see.
So if we,
Move on the new business, trash and recycle contracts. I motion that we move that to next on the agenda.
second, all in favor? 2-0. So we'll take up trash and recycle contracts.
You want me to explain to them, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Jerry's contract's up at the end of this month. He called, discussed that he'd like to have a raise. The raise is $3,000 from last contract. We split it up between the two. And he'd also like to include a 2% CPI, what they call Consumer Price Index raise, 2% for the second 2 years of this 3-year contract. To get a $3,000 increase the first year between the two, and then he would get a 2% on the two. And I figured out the amounts, if you want to know what they are.
Yes, please.
On the recycling side, the contract came out to be $16,680 the first year. 2% increase on that is going to be $333.60. So the second year, the contract would go to $17,013.60. And a 2% increase of the $17,000 to the third year would be $340.27, making the final year $17,353.87. On the trash side, the contract for the first year would go to $34,520, with a 2% on the second year of the contract, which equals $690.40, which would make the contract $35,210.40. And 2% of that would be $704.21, which would make the final year $35,914.61.
When does this become effective?
April 1st. And just to let you know, his original contract was for recycling was, for the last 6 years, has been the same at $15,180. And his trash contract, because his price hasn't changed since I've been here. I've been here through 2 contracts. His trash was $32,889.96. The only difference is there was a year that we picked up, when we picked up Buttermilk Lane, we've been paying the $10 charge, which is going to do away with that, included in the whole thing, so we're not paying that extra $10. Actually, was it $10 a month or $10 a week? I think it was $10 a week. Yeah. So,
No questions on my part. He's been here as long as I've been here, and I've been very happy with it, so a little more money is about well deserved.
Are we all set budget-wise?
I believe we're going to be, but if we run over, it's not going to be a lot. We figure we only got 6 months, and he's talking about $1,000 in a year, so it's only going to be $500 for 6 months. And I think we'll be fine. I think we were right to the penny, but I think we'll have that in overlay to cover the over. That's the only part that I didn't get. So, do you have anything?
As these 2 gentlemen are happy, we're happy.
So if you guys want to make a decision, we're going to have to I got to revise these numbers and put that CPI in, and if you agree to it, then I'll sign the contract with you.
Put it in the form of a motion and
Yep.
move to accept the new pricing structure
Yep.
for trash and recycling contract for the next 3 years.
Second. Sorry, I'm sleeping.
All in favor? Passes 2-0. All right, we want
Okay,
to go
well,
back.
you're all set. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you, guys.
See ya.
Take care.
So long.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who's that? That was just trash?
Trash and recycling,
So, who's the guy sitting next to me?
Jerry's brother.
No.
Jerry
They're all-
was the old guy sitting here.
Jerry and his
That
wife
was
was
his
here, and his
brother.
brother's sitting over there.
Okay, so one does recycling and one does trash?
No, they both own the company. I don't think either one of them do the trucks. They own the company together.
Oh, all right.
Sullivan's
I was
Waste.
gonna give him a compliment if I'd known that was him. Anything with me left?
Just us.
We'll move back to department reports.
Is Gary all right? He's not here.
He's not here. I think he forgot. He'll be mad.
The same.
I had him up here first thing this morning, sorting books anyway.
Fire report.
Any questions?
Call for water supply station.
We do have hot water.
What?
Will fixed it Friday. He was supposed to come tomorrow, Wednesday, but it was fixed Friday.
And
So
the
there's
inspection
hot water.
is tomorrow, right?
Inspection is tomorrow. He emailed me today to confirm, and he's stopping here. I tried to call him, but he wasn't in. But I did call, and he's gonna stop here, and I called his secretary to confirm that he would stop here on his way.
Good. Glad to mess them.
Probably no bill yet on it.
I got the one from Nichols, I haven't got the big one yet. I thought about calling him, but I really don't want to see it come in. But I will call McLeod's,
Yeah.
McLeod's, and see about getting the bill, because,
No rush.
yeah.
I think they said the tanker was all fixed too.
Yep, tank was all fixed last Thursday. That's what he told you, right, last Thursday?
Told me, I mean,
Yeah.
I go by that.
Okay. Any other questions for you, Skip?
Is it
Fine.
usable? Is it usable?
No, any more questions on
Oh,
fire?
no.
Okay. Rescue?
We had 5 calls last month. We didn't make 3 of them. Those were during the week, between the hours of 7 and noon. We canceled the staff meeting this month because of the weather. We did our annual training on Bureau of Labor Standards requirements. So that, everybody attended that, so we were able to get that done all in one time. The IT team finished the internet installation that is filmed to our computers. The internet, while it's great that we have it hooked up, it does seem to be a little bit too slow to operate the way we need it to, so I'd like the town look into getting it faster.
That's
It's
part of
even
my
on,
budget.
okay, it's even on the weekends,
Mhm.
when there's somebody else using the computer, it's not moving fast enough.
Because he had talked to us about that, and we're at 15, I believe.
Right, the
And
lowest one.
I'm gonna call Unitel and find out how we can step up and all that to get it into the budget.
Last week, we started a 2-month free trial of a program called I Am Responding, which is a program that sends dispatches to our phones. So in addition to the pages we get through the radio, we get the information on our cell phones. So there's a secondary notification device. It does mapping, put where the hydrants are. So for the fire department, it'll probably be beneficial too as well. It also does tracking on certifications, does scheduling, as well as a host of other things. It's a 2-month trial period right now. When it's done with the trial, if the town feels worth it, it will be about $300 a year, rather than a month, depending on call volume. So if we do under 100 calls, it's $300. If we do more than 100 calls, it's $800 a year. But last year we did 127, so I explained to the rep that that's a big jump from 27 different more calls. So he said there'd be some wiggle room on that. And they do an average of 3 years. So if we're busy one year, not as busy the next.
So would that totally replace your pager system, or?
No, when you enter into a contract with this I Am Responding company, they make you sign the contract and a certain clause, and it says that you will not replace your paging system, because they take the information and then push it out to the carrier. So Verizon, US Cellular, they can't be responsible for what happens after it goes out from their system. So we would still receive paging.
So what's the advantage of it?
So it puts the information on our phone.
Right.
It maps the call for us. It does scheduling. So one of the things that when you go to a call, a lot of times the address, like go ahead. If you want to visualize what it is.
Not to interrupt you, Chris. This is what it comes in as. But this was a test, but it'll say I am responding, Newburgh Rescue, reminder, tomorrow the building inspector will be at the station, and keep out of the station. And that's basically, it would show the fire call, the EMS call, and it will give us directions to where it is, and it'll give the nature of the call and the time.
So you don't have to call dispatch and say,
Right.
can you give me that address again? You can look it up on your
Right,
phone.
And
It comes right on our phone.
and actually on a smartphone, and maybe more of an offline demonstration, it does even more.
Yeah.
So
But, yeah, that's,
A lot of-
does that give you an idea what it does?
and that's the simple version of what it is
Yeah.
on his phone. But maybe after the meeting, I can show you how it works, but I'll show you a little bit more about the features. But a lot of area departments are getting on board with it. More are going on board every day with it, or every week with this company. You know, departments our size, like Newburgh, Sherman Fire uses it, which is within our dispatch area. Hamden's using it. So it's not, it is a growing thing. There has been talks that the county may end up picking up the bill for it. You know, so every department in the county would have it, but that's not to come to fruition quite yet.
Fire department used to use something similar to this.
We tried it.
Is this the same thing you tried?
It's a different program altogether.
Right.
I
yeah.
was approached by a fire department member last week that the thing is a lot of the volunteers don't respond to calls during the day because they're not allowed to have their pagers at work. Okay? And this is how it was explained to me. If they had this program, it would come through on their phone,
Right.
sitting on their desk, and they could get sick. And they've done it.
Well, I certainly wouldn't advocate for that.
But they, you know, if they're slow at work or something, they can walk up to the boss and say, hey, you know, can I take the rest of the day off? We've had a call, we're not busy here, I'd like to go on the call and help. But that's what I was approached with by one of the fire department members, because they used to have it, so maybe it would be a possibility to get the program utilized for both
Right,
departments.
yes, definitely.
You know, and because I know some of them want it too, because they're not allowed, like I said, and a lot of times, it's not that they're not allowed to have their pages don't work in the buildings that they work.
Right, yeah, I
Just
mean,
gonna
the
say,
paging doesn't really
pages
work
don't
outside
work
of this
outside.
area.
You know, you said it's
For
what,
our town.
$800 for over 100?
Right,
You know, so,
but that price is negotiable.
you're right. But if we could get both to do it,
Yeah, we split the cost between the two budgets.
split the cost between the two
You
departments.
see, I was in Otis, you know what Big Hill is? I was down bottom Big Hill, and my pager don't work out there. But you see the text I sent you. The phone worked, so I knew
Mhm.
that it does work. If we had a fire, then I could leave there, and, you know, if we had a good-sized fire, and I'd come back to town.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, it's this secondary notification that the paging software, or the paging over the radio, has failed sometimes. Not as much with our department as with others, but there's been times where we don't get a call because the paging, the radio failed. And this will be a second notification because it doesn't work off the radio, it works off the computer-aided dispatch system.
Another advantage is, for the fire side of it, is when we sign on, a lot of times, well, EMS does too, but we'll ask Penobscot for the directions again, or,
Right.
well, we don't have to do that no more. All we gotta do is look at our phone,
Yeah.
and it'll give us our information, so we ain't gotta bother Penobscot again.
Right, that, and also, if the fire department were to join on with it, which would be great if they did, you can respond right on your phone that you're going, and there would be a display in the stations telling people wait there who's coming to the call. That way, Dwight's not driving out as I'm pulling in.
My phone can't do that.
Well,
I can receive, but I can't
We're gonna
send.
do a demonstration on Thursday, and
So-
you can't do that.
No, it sounds interesting. It's things like this, though, that at least my feeling is that I'd like to see it go through the budget process where, you know, they could prioritize things and you guys do your presentation to them.
Yeah.
What was the other thing that we did? There was only 2 departments in the state that don't have it.
Spillman.
Spillman, is that?
And this thing here, we're on this side of this instead of on the tail end of it,
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, ahead of it,
yeah.
you know, because we're in that first bunch on the bandwagon, bringing it in.
It's used by, I mean, if it matters, it's used nationwide by over 6,500 different departments,
Mhm.
and some departments into Canada. So it's not it's not a new to the game type thing.
Right, but around here,
But around here, yeah,
Yeah,
it's really
it's-
growing. I
it's
mean,
growing.
Hudson has it, Glenburn has it.
yeah,
Us and Green Bush, I think it is, the only ones that don't have it.
yeah.
Well, you're talking about Spillman,
Yeah,
but we have Spillman now, but not the fire department.
Greenbush is the
Yeah.
only one
Yeah,
left.
yeah. Well, we haven't got Spillman yet, the fire department.
right.
Oh, the fire department doesn't know. No.
But it's only a 2-month trial.
Yeah.
If, you know, you find out it's not beneficial, then that's fine too. But it tracks participation in calls in addition to our run forms. We'll do all our scheduling,
Mhm.
things like that. And everything's on an app now,
Yeah,
and there's an app for it. So you can just go right to it. It will send you a reminder, in an hour, you're on duty,
mhm.
because when you sign up for a shift a month in advance, you might forget.
So did you, by any chance, budget for this in your budget you presented?
Yep,
this year?
there could be money there for that, yeah. It wasn't specifically a specific
Yeah.
item, but it could be pulled out of one of the communications budgets. But we also do have quite a bit of money still in the capital fund, so, I mean,
So-
we could buy a subscription to it for 5 years and not even cut a quarter of that fund.
Yeah.
That almost sounds like it's something that you could deal with Chris on, and
Yeah, but it's over $500,
It is, right.
so in order to do it.
Well, and I'm not asking for approval for this today, this is just a trial. Maybe we might find it's not beneficial at all. We were only a couple days into it. And unfortunately, from the dispatch side, there's been some errors, and we've been getting calls that we shouldn't have been getting. So we're trying to work out the kinks that
Yeah.
way.
What about the pagers? You want to explain the pagers?
Okay, so one of the things that we budgeted for in the upcoming budget fiscal year are starting to phase out our current Minotaur Motorola pagers and phasing in a different pager. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head right now. But the Minotaur 5 pagers are what we currently have, and they don't make them anymore. And the ones that they make to replace them, are not of very good quality. So a secondary company, which still has the same Motorola inside, but a different outside, it's all the Motorola components, but it says like Radio Shack on the outside versus, Unit In or whatever, makes a pager that can do quite a bit more, but it's actually less money. And we could program that ourselves.
but is it
So-
old technology that?
No, it's new technology. Yeah, no, this is cutting edge technology. A lot of area departments are switching over. It's called Unification. That's the name of the company, Unification. And what this will allow us to do is it records the pages, and it's just easier to work on.
Like a
From
little
what I understand
computer.
from what I understand from the radio guys, the people we contract with to handle our radio stuff.
Jason?
They don't sell parts. It's
For the old
challenging
ones.
to get parts for the old ones.
Well, I think we were warned about that in a few years past,
Yeah.
where Fire had to redo their radios.
Jason Jordan was in here last week and explained he's doing the radios for the fire department and rescue. And it's almost impossible to get parts to fix these pagers. He himself has gone out and bought himself one of these pagers, and he was showing it to me. And it's got like a little computer screen on it. And when the page comes up, he can see it, but it records it in. He can go back and see the times and stuff, so, even if the fire department doesn't opt to do the Spillman program with rescue, eventually, they're gonna have to have these pagers, and these pagers will give them all that information. And it holds it. They can review it, and they can go back and look at it.
So you still got two ways. If someone phones dies, okay, their phone dies, which a lot of people do, then that same information that we would get on the phone comes on the pager.
Yep.
So you've got two
Yeah.
Well,
methods
and
that
that's,
work.
that's really the key in, as you develop your NIMS compliance and the incident
Yeah.
command, is redundancy.
Yep.
And that's, that, you know, the pager, that's one method of notification. Now, this I am responding, that's the redundancy
Mhm.
if one piece of the pie fails, you know, piece of the puzzle fails.
So do you want to bring this back once you're through the trial and see, or do you
Yeah,
want?
I think that'd be best, because I don't want to, I don't know necessarily it'd be best to allocate money for something that we're not certainly, or we're not certain that will work for us. Like I said, we're not even a week into it yet, so I really can't make any educated promotion or request based on it.
Now, can you send messages out to them from?
Yes, yeah, I've done quite a number of them, actually.
Yeah, he does,
And
yeah.
like, when I got your email this afternoon, I sent a message to all the crew, right from my computer, saying, keep out of the fire station tomorrow,
Mhm.
you know? It's a quick relay of information, or reminder. And this system actually even lets me set up pre-scheduled messages. So reminder, get your pay card in by this day,
Mhm.
so you can get paid. We got training coming up this day, remember.
Question. Now, I know you have a track phone, correct, or a prepaid?
Prepaid.
Okay. If we're gonna, and I'm just throwing this out here, if we're gonna implement something like this utilizing members' phones as part of the pay category, shouldn't we include a stipend to kind of help reimburse them for some of their phone charges?
I haven't really thought about that. I don't know, you know, it'd be an optional thing, but that does make sense.
I
Maybe
think
look
more,
into it.
I'm not sure if anybody gets charged for incoming text messages, but.
no, I mean, I got limited, I got
Unlimited.
unlimited on
That-
mine.
That concern, I mean, we've been doing this for a couple days, and I've sent quite a number of messages out. Nobody's brought that concern that, you know,
Well,
you're
I
missing my
just didn't know
text.
if when we pay, as part of their pay, in that paid category,
Yeah.
what they get paid, if there might be like an annual,
It's no different than
$100.
receiving a regular phone call.
Right,
But
and
somebody may, some
that-
people may be limited
Yeah.
on their data.
Well, yeah, that's true, but
Yeah.
That and, now having the requirement to use your phone, since there's no phone over there, so
Yeah.
that might go hand in
And
hand.
this isn't through payroll, this would be a stipend,
Right.
a stipend for something.
Really?
It's just something to think about,
Yep.
so.
So you'll work up some sort of proposal, I guess,
Yeah.
maybe through the budget committee or,
Yep.
all right?
And then we're just going to apply, in addition to the turnout gear grant, we're going to apply for ergonomics grant for new keyboards. The keyboards that came with the computers are too small. The key placement is not normal on a keyboard. So like, for example, the 4 arrows up, down, left, right is mixed in with the keyboard. It's, the
Yeah, they're
part of the
really
keyboard
funky
itself.
keyboards.
So I'm going to apply for a grant for that. I think we really should rope the town office in on that, because I've had to use their keyboard once or twice.
Yeah.
And
We're
It's
not
not- yeah.
economically correct
Right.
at all.
can I go back to that stipend you were talking about?
Sure.
I don't know if that would be a right thing to do, because, I mean, you use your phone for town business. Some of the guys at the fire department use it for fire department business.
Mhm.
So it wouldn't be any different, us getting that text, than, you guys don't get a stipend for your phones, do you? So why would we be any different than anybody else?
It just was a thought.
Yeah.
It was a thought, another way to reimburse, to
Well,
help reimburse people for the
I don't
expenses
disagree, I
that they
just
do.
wanted to throw that out.
Yeah. So,
Okay. That it?
then the staffing level remains unchanged.
Any prospects?
There's a couple of people, Cindy's
That's gonna
gonna
be so difficult to find somebody
yeah.
to do what you guys do.
Daytime is the worst of all.
I had another conversation last week with a different member of fire department about a call and mutual aid, and they told me, well, you know, you can call Carmel. Well, we really can't call Carmel right now during the day. They'd come on an occasion. I know if we got, you know, but knowing that we don't have daytime coverage, and, you know, if that happened, I talked to Tom about it a while back, before Tom left. And, you know, Hamden would come out, you know, once or twice a year if we had trouble or they were on a scene and that sort of thing. But coverage that way, that's why we need to get this ordinance passed, which allows us to negotiate and.
The reason they don't wanna come is because we can't go to help them, is what you're saying.
Well, that we
Right.
don't have a mutual aid
Right,
agreement for EMS
Yes.
services,
Yeah.
which, if we get this ordinance passed, that will allow us to do that, so,
Well, I think we all want that.
so.
We'll win eventually. We'll win eventually. I'm stubborn.
All right,
Okay,
anything else?
Sir.
Good. Thank you. Recreation, anything?
no,
Go ahead.
not that I know of, they're having a meeting tomorrow night, I believe. Tuesday, yes.
I think I can probably give Gary's report for him.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't have anything other than what's on the agenda.
Not for you, all right, let's go to old business. The building inspection.
It's tabled until completed, and he's coming tomorrow. This bill that was on the last one for the CBA bottles and the other thing, I got the clarification that is a camera, a thermal imaging camera, which they've got enough money in their budget, it's not gonna leave them a lot of money, to get through the rest of the year, but until the vote on the 11th, I
Yeah,
don't see
we
the fight
just-
is gonna do any good,
No.
so I just wanted to, if you guys are okay with it, I'll put it on the warrant, pay for it.
Blink just as well. For now.
Same
Yeah.
for residents? So you're all set with putting that on and just paying it?
Yes.
Same for residents, the last storm I did, we took a sign down, put it down there, had a pile of sand, sand's gone, we got complaints, but I can't have them coming back making special trips to keep sand in that pile. I just can't. And if you put a whole lot out, a whole lot's gonna disappear. We did put a sign out that it was for residents, buckets only, it was under surveillance. We'll see, I haven't had any issues as of yet, but.
This is the first year we've had a problem with it, isn't it?
The
No, I
reason that
remember
they were
years
having
ago
a
we
problem
had
is there was so much waste down around there.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
You
you're
know,
right.
They just went down and cleaned up the waste. I mean, we spent how many thousands of dollars cleaning up what they left,
Yeah.
you know? And people, it's cleaned up, there's nothing down there. It's not that we've stopped putting sand out to people, we never put it out to begin with. So I am working, I have incorporated into the budget to try to build something, whether it be a box or barricades. We couldn't get the Jersey barricades, they were not available. So in the budget this year, I have an amount of money in the salt shed that will include possibly building a box big enough for them to dump with covers on it, just like they have in Clifton,
I
you know?
think that's reasonable. I mean,
And
it's not a big
we're gonna
deal
have to go that route, but
provide sand for the residents, but yeah,
You still-
everybody has faced it this year. Boy,
Yeah.
I've heard so many horror stories that, in fact, just this afternoon, this morning, talking with people who do our yard, they put more sand down this year than they've ever put down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not that we're trying to deny people sand, it's just, you know, you got, Winterport's put a stop to it, Monroe doesn't have it available with any amount of salt in it, and Hamden doesn't let people take it. You know, nobody around pretty much allows residents to take it. City of Old Town charges by the bucket residents to take sand from the sand shed.
Huh?
I think I'm gonna get my own sand for next year.
And, you know, I mean, I utilize it in my town, I have nothing against it, but when you have people from other towns coming in and people coming in with tractors and sanders and, you know, I mean, we
That's going a little bit more than overboard.
We are the only town around that has not had to buy extra sand. And we still, as of last time, have plenty to get us through the season if it
That's
continues
because we
this
got
way.
good people doing the roads that
Yep.
don't waste the sand, they put it down the middle like it should be.
Yep, and, so, you know, I figured it out and we put up just 2,500 yards. I think is what it was, 24 something. And, 4 loads of salt,
Oh,
only 4 loads.
only 4
We are
loads.
this close to not fulfilling our obligation for salt.
Did we though?
Yeah, it's like 300 yards
Yeah,
short.
yeah.
They won't do anything. I actually called them, got a little panicky. But we, you know, and, yeah, we're doing really well. We haven't, I mean, we've been going through 7, 8 loads of salt.
Otis has got less roads than us, and they're thinking about putting some more up.
Yeah. Winterport's put it up twice.
Yeah. Oh, they've done an excellent job. I had no,
So-
only one complaint, and that was it.
But we're doing awesome on the savings on the salt sand. I mean, we spent more on sand than we did on salt. So,
Good. Well,
Alright.
go on to perk.
yes. And I did get an explanation of this today.
We did.
I did. What this is to put an article in town meeting to sell to PERC our interests in PERC. We have 2 choices, we can or we can't. We do it or we don't. If we don't, and I talked to VZ today, I have a call into Old Town and stuff, but I think I'm gonna, based on what I talked to VZ, he's asked around, and if we don't want to sell, we've got to have some way or somebody monitoring our interest in PERC. Just, that's what MRC did. That's what they do. So, and I haven't heard of any town that's not doing this, or they would be calling around trying to get us together to organize this group.
Right, right.
So, if we do, they're gonna send us our 4,000 some odd dollars that it's worth. And we put it with if the town's smart, we'll put it in an account, in a capital account, draw the interest off every year, and help defer the extra costs we're gonna pay for tonnage.
We'll be getting money back.
We're gonna be getting
MRC
that
also,
$4,000 from them, and then we get, what are we getting, 80 something from
I think that's what you
MRC?
told me last time, was between $8,000 and $9,000. Coming back.
Yeah, we got 47, 21, 33 coming from PERC,
Right.
but we got 80,000 coming from MRC.
80,000.
Yeah, so if we can get the town to take all that money, you're talking $85,000,
Right.
you know, put it in lock it into an account that, you know, for a year, get a good interest rate on it, draw it off once a year and apply it to your trash costs.
go towards something for
So,
away.
so the other option with PERC is to leave that 4,000 with them, and then what do we get out of that?
We get,
It's
if
like
they
we're
make any money, we
stockholders.
get a little bit of it, very little bit, because $4,000 worth of value is not a lot of,
So
I
all
guess
that-
I'm not real clear on the advantages of doing one way versus the other.
the advantage of selling is we didn't have to worry about trying to find a way to monitor how they're working and if we're getting our money. Because that's what MRC did. If we're gonna leave our money with PERC, you really should
But that's like
organize a
always-
group of people, and I don't know anything about organizing this group of people. That's what MRC did. The group of towns got together and organized MRC to oversee this, our ownership in PERC.
That all towns had in
Right.
PERC.
You're right. So it would be a matter of starting another MRC of some sort, but we don't know how many towns, and based on the ones I've talked to, they're all selling out. And no one have to worry about it. Because it'd be just like starting over again with the MRC group.
And we're gonna have to decide soon so that that can be put on the annual
In
town
June,
meeting.
yes. It has to be decided by December. Okay? We don't have to decide tonight, you can think
Right.
about it. I'll call, I've got to call into Old Town, I've got to call into Herman,
Yeah, that'd
and,
be kinda nice.
you know, to come back with what they're gonna do.
Yeah, but most of those people on that list are leaving PERC and they're going to the Hamden place, correct?
That's why I called the ones I did. They're doing the same as us.
Yes, we
They're
are.
staying with PERC. Old Town, Herman, Beasley, Milford, Stetson. Actually, he who did the list of names. They got 30, 40 towns. They ain't got
Really?
100, but they got 30, 40 towns.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. Plus they've got, Casella.
Huh.
Casella's gonna be their big money maker. That's where their tonnage is coming.
That'd be good for the, have three of us here to decide on that.
You know, we can just
And then
table
put it
this.
to
I just
town.
wanted to
Yeah.
put this up there for information.
Okay. And then,
Well, it wasn't far off in my
No.
reading of it.
Nope.
That comes in there, give me a lowdown on it. I'm reading this about the third time, and I'm still not sure what I'm reading.
Yeah,
It was a good thought.
so,
All right, new business, town meeting date.
okay, so we're gonna do the June, you decided last time, but it was discussed in one of the meetings to change from Saturday to a weeknight,
Yes, it
which
was.
would mean doing your elections on Tuesday and maybe possibly a Thursday night, or we can do it on Saturday. I just need to know.
I know the talk back then was hoping that we'd get a bigger, better turnout by having it on a weeknight. I know we felt that being on a Saturday in June, that people had their interests in other places than
Mhm.
in the town meeting. And I know we also discussed the fact that a lot of towns do it during the week. I think if we do it, I think we'd seriously want to consider doing it while school is in session, you know, that first couple of weeks of June,
Well,
so that
yeah,
we're not gonna have people gone.
yeah.
I know my preference, I think, would be to do it on a weeknight.
I don't have
Give
a
it a try.
preference, so call Renee and ask her.
She
I'm
was
okay.
good, she was good with it, so,
I'm good with it,
yeah, so, all right.
as long as I don't fall asleep.
So if we have,
Done by eight,
we have,
so that's good.
we'll have the elections on Tuesday
Get
from
them-
8 to 8, and recess the meeting and continue it at 6 o'clock on Thursday night, the following Thursday.
Or what about the following Tuesday? Can you go on
I
Saturday?
can't go that long.
Does it make sense to do it first of the week?
As
Yeah.
opposed to
Opposed to-
later in the week,
Yeah.
maybe people would have less plans.
Yeah, I just can't help but think people might be thinking more weekend and I gotta get out of here and kind of set this aside, maybe not.
I know the school does their thing down to the school on Thursday, and then has their election that following Tuesday.
Yeah. I think we just have to be careful that we don't schedule it if there's something major going on, like
We can
with the
do it
school
Wednesday,
systems.
do the elections
Yeah.
on Tuesday and do the town meeting on
Yeah.
Wednesday night.
If we just check the school's calendar, I think, first, make sure we don't
Yep.
step in it with.
Well, no, because see, ours is after theirs, because when we have our elections on.
Yeah, but I'm
April-
talking about any type of school function, say if, I don't know how they're gonna do their graduations. or
Oh, yes,
Any of the
yes.
senior stuff.
So Wednesday or Thursday or the
I
following
think
Monday,
so.
you,
Yeah,
okay. All right, so I will look into that.
there's a lot to think about doing in June, because you wanna stay away from graduation time too,
Mhm.
because they're gonna be doing their parties, and
Yep,
so. I still think it's better than a Saturday myself,
yep.
People are gonna come, they're gonna come because they want to come.
yeah.
In my town, they have elections in the morning from 8 to noon. They recess and set up the room, count the ballots, and at 1:30, town meeting is from 1:30 to whenever it gets over. It's all day Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's,
Yep. So,
All
okay,
right. Sand shed repairs.
okay. And she didn't get back to me, so I'm thinking we're gonna have to table this one. I sent that down. Remember the estimates we had to fix the sand shed?
That Renee took care of that top to, yeah, yes.
And there were a couple of different
Yes.
options.
Yeah,
Well, I sent this down to her, it was supposed to be part of your packet and I forgot it, to get the opinion, because he's got a couple of different things here. So we actually could table this too, because she was gonna get back to me on what you could do, and I'll get you a copy of it.
who's she? You talking Renee?
Renee,
Yeah.
yes. So, but there was a couple of different things, and she was gonna get back to me and give her opinion
Yeah.
in an email,
Yeah.
because I know, I said they're gonna look to you for,
Yeah.
you know,
I'd be interested too.
recommendations.
Is this more of another building that's just being patched? I mean, is this something we should be looking seriously at with an ongoing type of,
In my opinion,
Program.
yes,
yes,
because there's holes in the roads and patched since I've been a selectman.
myself, I'd like to see a pole barn built right over the top of it, just a roof, and solve all the problems.
yeah, I guess that's my point, is to look at it as a long-term plan rather than just
Yeah.
patch. I mean, if we spend that money patching, and then next year we're
Well,
looking at something
right.
else that.
This was to fix the seal, the
Right,
sides
I knew
walls,
that, yeah.
you know, but I think,
It's
yeah.
just like the fire station, you know, I'm concerned that, are we in a condition that we really need to look at it and assess whether it's a repair job or is it a replacement job? You know?
I don't think you replace what's wrong with that building,
The fire department or the salt shed?
either one.
Well,
You can fix a salt shed and scab it along for a few more years.
yeah,
Easier than you can structurally fix the fire department.
so, but I.
I don't know, I'm not an inspector, that's why I want that
well, if the
guy.
roof caved in the salt shed, you're not gonna be as bad off if it
Right.
caved in on the fire station.
Yeah. So, but we had looked at this and, you know, it may be, you know, like I said, I've talked to a couple different people about just putting the metal. I said the worst problem with that salt shed, I went down there, you go down to the salt shed when it snows, and the snow hits here and stops right here. And sits there and melts and leaks into that building.
Well, what started it is like they do in most of these salt sand sheds. They'll put so much sand in it, they'll go above the concrete barriers, and it'll overflow into the metal. And that's where 90% of your problems
Well, then we
start.
put pressure treated plywood on ours, so we could pile it higher. Well, all that did was allow it to go over the top and forever stay down in there.
Right,
Wow.
and we haven't got a vent, and we got vents in that.
I don't think so. No,
Because
There's the fan in the back.
Yeah.
that's another thing is the moisture, the dampness that gets in there, gets, of course, you don't think it does, but it does make, not a mess, but the salt will come out and go into you suck right into the buildings.
Mhm. So, there's more of a ventilation system down there than.
You know, I know what you mean now, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so, I'll get on for that.
So that is tabled until
Yep.
Renee gets back.
Yeah. But it's set to be this spring, so we still got time.
Okay. License for the kitchen.
Yes, I am meeting tomorrow morning, the community cupboard that is through Eastern Area on Aging. They need a license. And the school supposedly satellites this kitchen off one of their other ones. So, the lady from Eastern Area on Aging, is gonna come up tomorrow. We're gonna do a license for this kitchen. It's not gonna be for a school, it's gonna be for a town office to do, these minor things. But based on what I'm told, for anybody to do anything and process food in that kitchen, it's supposed to be licensed. So, the license is about $200. They're willing to help with the cost of the license. But I've got most of it. We already do the water sampling and testing. Jackie signed off on the septic system the other day when she was here. We're gonna sit down, make up the application, send it in, because they can't do the community cupboard anymore or cafe until they have that license. So, and the school doesn't license this kitchen as a school, so.
I think to keep in the back of mind, at least my personal feeling is that there's so much potential in that area out there that if at some point we could get into leasing the spot out
Yeah.
so that it could be a catering kitchen.
Yeah.
gonna
Actually,
affect-
there's a couple of people in town, I was told that, there's a couple of caterers in town that look for spaces like that to do
Yes,
large
yeah,
events.
Yeah, I don't think we'd want to compete with local business, but if you get a facility, they may,
Yep.
and they can bring business to
Yep.
you. So
Yep.
I've always thought, this is such a nice building, and it's got so much potential, but we're not using any of it.
So,
We're gonna start finding ways to use it
Yes, yes.
as it gets.
Bring some money in.
Yep.
I know one of the arguments will be that, residents should have it for free. Well, maybe, but maybe not as well with costs associated with it, but there could be some sort of income.
so,
Because you've got these grounds out here that could be utilized for
yeah,
something.
so,
Anyway,
okay.
number 5, budget committee meeting.
They are meeting they were gonna meet tonight, I said it originally, but then I had to call and postpone it till next Monday. But we're meeting next Monday with the budget committee. I'm almost done getting everything in the computer, but county tax, just informational. And this is all Chris's fault.
What, you got a raise? So now they're gonna put it back on us, right?
Yeah,
That's certainly not our fault. We haven't had a raise in 2 years.
no, so it did go up.
Plus.
I can't remember what last year
I was gonna say, it didn't go up very much, did it? Because I thought
No.
it was like 130 something.
I've got my book in here now. No, it didn't go up much. I did have my message and I wanted to talk about.
But the timing's still all right with where we've changed our fiscal year.
Yes, yes. So,
Okay,
last thing is general assistance. We're in compliance.
I saw that.
We do
So they
have-
come and do an inspection to,
They used to come and do inspections, now it's a written
oh,
inspection. They send me a paper, I fill it out, they send it back.
congratulations, right?
Yeah. So I did have one thing I wanted to get you up to date on. My meeting the other day with the school. Their budget's gonna go up. They've already warned us, because they did the teacher negotiations, and they don't even know what the state number's gonna be in yet, because the governor's not divulging anything. What else was it? They don't even know if they're gonna be able to have their numbers in time to have the vote when they're supposed to. So we may be having a special election just for the school. Because ours, the state and ours, will have to have ours at the same time, because the state referendum is that day. That's why we did it this way, and they'd all line up. I'm sure that people want to go, look, I just changed my fiscal year, so I can eliminate an election and line up you guys. So, but we're meeting again here not too long. We actually left the meeting. Rick and Angus are going to work on a meeting to all of us to meet with the representatives. A lot of us have concerns, including Rick and Evil, on how they come up with the formula for billing the towns.
You know, we'd be better off to pay the parents to stay home and homeschool them than we would be to give money to them.
So, but
Well,
that
we've got a
was,
beautiful school to show for it.
Oh yeah, it's like the medical center in Bangor. You walk in there and it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
You have to walk a half mile to go to the cafeteria.
so, but I'll keep you up to date as it goes along. We get these, I like these meetings. I've never been part of them, the school and all this, but, you know, they get off to a good start, and
Remind me to tell you about the one I had with them, my one and only.
so, but that's all I have.
You get anything? I have nothing. You guys set?
All set.
No.
I move to adjourn this meeting
7 o'clock?
at 7 o'clock.
Nobody tell I'm giving them mouth to mouth.
7 p.m.
Second? Raise your hand for a second. All right. All in favor, 2-0.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Oh.
No, I can't.
Thank you.